So effective last night, 12 midnight, Australia have released the restrictions on going out, and currently we're already on step 1. Woohoo! Yay! Say yay, Sherlock! So as we all know, it's been going on for almost 3 months or more than 2 months now. And with this COVID pandemic, Australia, I believe, is doing very well in flattening the curve. And I'm going to tell you on how Australia is succeeding in flattening this curve. So let's go! So before Australia have decided to do a shutdown, our Prime Minister have decided or have contemplated on whether he's going to consider the economy or the health of the people. And of course, the economy is very crucial as of the moment, but then RPM have also decided to think about the people's health. So during our lockdown here in Australia, they have decided that people are just only going to go out or allowed to go out if it's essential. So with essential, it means food, exercise, and medical purposes only. So I've subdivided it to 3 items on how Australia is trying to flatten the curve. And let me start off with staying at home and restrictions in travel. So I've mentioned earlier that in terms of restrictions of travel, we are only allowed to go out if it's essential, meaning getting some food, if it's for exercise, and if it's for an emergency. So basically, everyone is required to stay at home, and you're allowed to go out with some conditions. And I feel that the people who are living here, Australians and others, are very considerate in following the rules that the government had mandated. By staying at home, we have all been requested to work from home. Students have been just learning their lessons through Zoom with their teachers online and with their parents on hand, assisting them. All elective surgeries have been cancelled as well. So I'm now here at Luna Park in St. Kilda, and it's close, of course, because we are on stage 1 and it hasn't been really been lit up. Second point is social distancing. So of course, when you go out, you should have at least 2 meters distance between you and the person beside you or person behind you. In my case, I don't have anyone, but as you know, Australia is a very large continent and a country, and it is not that crowded here. That's why I think it's very easy as well for Australia to implement social distancing. Before I forget to mention to you, so because of the economy going down and people have been laid off, restaurants have been closed, and it is actually very difficult for the people who doesn't have jobs and who have been laid off. So the government had provided $1,500 per fortnight of assistance. You just have to register online and it's going to be banked into your bank account. We're now going towards the beach, and that is the St. Kilda Beach. So for social distancing, there is this app, COVID Safe, that the government had developed. It's actually an app that you're going to download to your phone, and just by turning on your Bluetooth, it's going to be live. It tells you the people who were in proximity with you who had been tested positive. In terms of groceries here, there's a lot of hoarding that's been happening here as well, if you compare it to different countries. But if it's a Western country, or if there are a lot of Caucasians in a specific country, they are very concerned with tissue papers. So of course, number 1 scarcity that we have here are tissue papers. But then if you're going to look at food supplies and like detergents, cleaning materials, everything is well stocked. In terms of food, you can still get pasta, canned foods, and other things that you can store for a longer time if in case that you get quarantined. So we are here at St. Kilda Beach. Look at that sunset. My number 3 point is authority visibility. So when you go to the parks and when you go to groceries, there are authority visibility or policemen that you can see that are checking everyone if they're complying with the government's rules. One time I was at the grocery, I saw some cops arresting this man. I'm not sure why, but I think it's because he has a fever. He got cuffed and I think they brought him in to be detained. Well, if you get caught on disobeying the rules, the fine here is $1,000 for an individual, and I think it's about $3,000 for companies or restaurants. So this is 3 things that I wanted to point out. And after everything, if by any chance you fall sick, you feel that you have a high fever, don't forget to call the number here on the screen for Corona Hotline. If you feel like you have fever, cough, or shortness of breath, then definitely call that phone number. Anyway, I hope that you appreciate this information on how Australia is trying to flatten the curve, and this short tour as well of St. Kilda Beach and the Luna Park that I've showed to you earlier. Thank you again, guys, for watching my channel, Misunderstood Cheeky, and you have a nice day. Bye. Cheers. So Australia has been releasing ulit. Ganda lang. Huwag kang gagalaw kasi mawawala sa sentro. Australia's lockdown has been eased up last night, and we are now on step 1 of and I think it's about $3,000.